Hi, how is everyone today? As you can see, I'm not doing really well. I went out walking almost a week ago, and within an hour, I started really getting extremely ill. When I had come home by that night, I was extraordinarily sick. Very next day, I did nothing but throw up for 24 hours. My head was extremely crushing, as if my brain was being crushed inside of my skull. And when I looked into my own body, I saw that it was building up with fluid. Now, I know what this was from. This was from, and we're going to talk about this next, the event that was scheduled. And let me tell you again, scheduled to take place to harm nature and to harm humanity. That train derailing was scheduled by our criminal government corporations. Okay, let me start by saying this. Everything gets planned very far in advance. I started looking into why I was so ill and why I just can't seem to be getting a little bit better. It's like it's terrible. I haven't really been sick in 6 years. I did have a ear infection, I think it was last year. And that's because I went out and it was extremely windy. And if I go in really high winds, I have a possibility of getting an ear infection, in which I did. Other than that, not sick. So let's go over to this scenario. Somebody had been telling me, you should have seen that Super Bowl halftime. And I said, oh, I don't watch TV. So I went ahead and I put the Super Bowl halftime on. And I'm like, bam, there it was. They were celebrating the train derailment and what it was going to do. Who was that woman in red? Pregnant, of all things. I'm going to tell you what, you'll sell your soul for coin and fame. And that's exactly what she's done. What was her name? Rihanna, or something like that. The red suit represented the blood that was going to be spilled. All the people running around in those little white suits were representations of hazmat suits. This was very orchestrated and planned. And then I found out that there was something with the braking systems of trains, and the company that was running this train system had fought getting this system on, which would have prevented this accident from ever happening. But if you're the evil organization behind taking down humanity, which is a combination of AI reptilians, humans, and the brain and spinal cords, of course, we could not do anything to prevent something that was being orchestrated. We are the stewards of this reality. This holographic fractal reality, we are the stewards. The human beings are the stewards. And I'm going to tell you right now, we are failing miserably. Miserably. These Kabbalists go and they keep writing legislation to further enslave and harm humanity. And if it's on paper, they expect us to obey anything at this point that they pass through the legislation, which they own. Now, they're no longer and have not been working toward humanity's benefit or nature's benefit for a very long time. Since probably the total takeover was around 1962 was the total takedown. When does humanity stand up and say enough is enough? They're killing us with these. They're subduing us with the towers, with the evil 5G, 6G takedown frequencies. In our Constitution, which they're trying to get rid of completely, of course, it says that when your government has become completely corrupted, and at this point, It's way past that point. When do you start forming militias and take back our world? When do you cross the line and say there's no more anything you can do in our corrupt systems, and it's time to physically create the militias to take back our reality? When does the day come? They have made everyone so complacent in their little homes or what have you, and you're so afraid to lose the smallest thing. They're using the cursed Babylonian money system as the chains. And let me explain this. The federal government has stolen you. They never had the right. That was never in our Constitution. That was never a thing. When we lost the Civil War, we lost our sovereignty. They came in with extortion, and it's called taxes. Now let's see what taxes are. Extortion. Please look up extortion. Look up the meaning of extortion. So, what are we to do at this point? In this reality sim, we must have action. You can talk about it, you can think about it, you can formulate it in your mind. But without action in this 3D, 4D reality, nothing will get done. The only one taking action is the evil fucking cabal. And yes, I just cussed. The devastation that they have just done and celebrated at the halftime from the football is so off the scale. Oh yes, and that, what was her name? Rihanna? She sold her soul out. Her baby will probably be sacrificed and they'll give her another one. That's why she's so torn about having this child. Awful. You want to make it in there, that reality? You have sold your soul. You have sold your soul. Very few have scaped by out of there that haven't sold their soul. I mean, very, very few. I digress. I don't want to be putting out a really negative video, but it's time. Wake up. This is the beginning. That Biden biatch promises it's only going to get worse. And so far, the little puppet, of course, he's recanting what he's been told. They're making it far in advance so he can be true to what he says. The you-know-whats were stolen, of course, obviously. The entire thing is a flim-flam sham. We don't need any kind of government anymore. We need to take it down. We need to govern ourselves. And at the rate, they have quite more hideous things planned. As of June the 30th, they want to collapse the entire fiat system and put you on a system where they'll tell you what you're working for and how much you get to keep of that. Identity theft. This is what taxes are. I'm going to take 100 cards out in your name, credit cards in your name. I'm going to max them all out and say each one has like $7,000 max on it. And then you're going to have to pay it back because this is our federal government with them taking out trillions of dollars. It's identity theft. Why are we responsible for an illegitimate, illegal faction of our government called the federal government that keeps taking out all this money and then passing it to the common man and telling them they are now responsible for all of the money that they have taken? It's no different than I'm taking out credit cards in your name and telling you you're responsible to pay it back. Identity theft, extortion. This is only going to end one way. We're either going to end this or they're going to end us. And it's as simple as that. Because when June 30th comes and they try to take us down financially and put us into that credit system and say that you owe all this debt, and it's the debt they've created, we're sunk. It's over. We're done. Stand up. Form your militias. I'm putting a call out to everyone that can hear this. Do it before it's too late. These Kabbalists already have designed it. They're doing their last things. It should have already happened, but there's been intervention. And at this point, if the common man doesn't snap out of it and wake up, this was a big wake-up call. How much is it going to take? How much? Well, I've been running a high fever for 5 days now. I've been incredibly ill. The 5G, 6G is being ramped up. My ears are ringing so loud. I've got a tower down the road right into the cam trails. Oh, and by the way, they have cammed every trail now because AI needs to find out where you are at every given point. So now in all of nature, there's cam trails everywhere that have appeared in the last year. Yes, year and a little bit over. I'm very disgusted because it's so obvious. So everything is correlating. It's time to stand up, take action. We need to create militias. The government needs to take itself back. All the people working in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and reserves. You better wake up. You have been guinea pigs. You've been guinea pigged. When do you say that your reality is enough? Who are you working for? You're working for the cabal. It's time to take back our country. It's time to do something. Sitting down and acting like somebody else is going to do it for you isn't going to get it done. It's time to do something. And this is the challenge. This is a great big challenge. And everyone has to be accountable. What is it going to take for you to wake up? I hope I reach enough people. I know that I'm extremely shadow banned, but we're at the last pivotal point. What's going to happen? What are you going to do? What timeline are you going to stand on? What's it going to be? This is your last chance. What you going to do? Time to do something. Sitting around discussing it isn't going to get it done. No, it's not. So, I'm being bombarded severely. My camera's picking up all the backlight. It's completely overcast. Oh, and by the way, our chemtrailing is off the scale. Of course, we know this. They don't want you to have the actual energy, sunlight. I will tell you one thing. Go get salt lamps and start using them at night instead of regular lamps. Salt lamps can replace the sun. There's something in the salt lamp, the Himalayan salt lamps, that actually replace the rays of the sun. And you can get what you need from the Himalayan salt lamps. Put them on, have them running at night, where that's your only light source. I have them in my house. And at night, they're my only light source. And they put out a golden yellow equivalent to the sun's energies. Yes, they are. And it's very unknown what these salt lamps are capable of doing. They clean your atmosphere, but the light that comes into your eyes from them replaces the original yellow sun that we used to have, and it can upgrade you. And it's a best kept secret. Everybody go out and buy your salt lamps while you still can get them. Because of course, since I'm now saying this, they're going to try everything they can to stop the Himalayan salt lamps. Of course. So invest in a Himalayan salt lamp. Put it on. Bathe in it all night long. So you can replace what they're taking from you. Let me grab a drink real quick. I'm trying to be positive and upbeat, and I tell you, it's been a bit difficult when you've been as sick as I've been. So yes, there it is. It's all out now. I'm sure many channels have been talking about this. This stuff will spread far and wide through the rivers and the creeks and the airs. You know how toxic this stuff is. Obviously, here I am, very sick from... They didn't just hit with the toxic poisons. It's the combination of the 5G, 6G, and as they're hitting us now on every level to make us incredibly ill. Because if they can make the population ill, you can't fight. You can't think straight. All you can do is just lay in bed and slowly deteriorate and try to get back. So, everybody go out and get salt lamps. It's time to form these militias. We need them. Our Constitution calls for them. Here we go. There's a handful of these banksters. Of course, we know all of this on this channel. the Bill Gates, the Faucis, Bidens, the Zuckerbergs, all of them. What was that one guy? Elon Musk. Yeah. What is that? Klaus Schwab. And then his little crony. And the Green Party, who is saying that carbon coming from us is toxic, when in reality, as being the custodians to nature, why we have a semi-biotic reality is so we breathe out, the trees can breathe in. And when the trees breathe out, we can breathe in. We have a semi-biotic reality. Why they're spraying the chemtrailing to kill nature and to kill us, saying that we're toxic polluters. Well, to the reptilians, to the AI, of course we are. Because they want an AI reptilian world, along with the spinal cords and brains. We need nature and nature needs us. And I'm sick to death to hear the crap that comes spewing out of that green thing, that green corporation, inversion. Oh, and by the way, the spokeswoman, they're all sex trafficked. They're trafficked sex victims, and they're so damaged here, it's not funny. Any of them on there know that they're from the sex trafficking, and they're all damaged. They're far gone, and the only thing they need to do is drop. Of course, this will be happening because of the timeline splits. But I'm here to let you know what that's really about. Damaged goods. Baby, damaged goods. That's what they are. Damaged goods. Okay. This is a very harsh video. I'm very disgusted. Of course, our government's not going to help the place that they plan to destroy, Ground Zero, Chernobyl. That's what it is. Ohio, what was the name of that place? It's East, whatever. Chernobyl. Think of Ground Zero, Chernobyl. Fukushima. No different. Fukushima, Chernobyl, Ground Zero. And of course, it'll radiate from there. And then, of course, burning it was always the plan. I will also tell you, why do you need such toxic material? For one thing only. And this is the stuff they also put into the chemtrailing, the geoengineering that they've been spraying on everything. Do you think it's going to make anything? It's going to make death. This is the chemicals that are also laced in there with the heavy metals. And this is why, way back when, the very first things that started to die was the frogs. And then from there it progressed to different things, and then finally overlading everything. How many species have we lost? How many insects have we lost? How many birds, animals, trees, vegetations have we lost? Because this is the chemicals that they've been spraying on us for the last 20 years. This is why they're making these chemicals. Not for anything else. There's a big one too. So it's not just the heavy metals, it's this stuff. And this is so unknown also. Food for thought. They're taking our money and they're killing us with it. Do you want to be led by reptilians? AI reptilians? Do you want to hand over your sovereignty as humans to reptilians? Because they've been running the show for a very long time. AI reptilians, along with the brain and spinal cords. AI, all of it. Well, you decide. Where's those militias? Where are they? Where's our government? Made incredibly sick, twisted, and our armed forces being taken down by this since 2002 and experimented on. Why do they give the soldiers dog tags? Because they believe they're less than dogs. And that's how they treat them. And what did Fauci do with all those dogs and cats? Exactly what he's done with the military forces. Used them and experimented on them. It's sickening. We have no value to these creatures. And they are creatures. Most foul creatures. Yes, this is a very harsh video from me because it's a harsh world, and look what they have just done. And they have celebrated it on your football, your energy gathering centers. And yes, I am going on and on because I am disgusted. I am very disgusted. I don't know if I can end this on a happy note except that wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up before it's too late. I notice that when I start getting angry, I start feeling better. That's that righteous anger. Except I'm still trying to heal from what's been done to humanity. And yes, I do feel it. I do feel it because I am very connected to this nature. And they have devastated us on ground zero. And of course, I got hit hard. Very hard. And if I was Mother Nature and I was to tell you, it's time to wake up, children. It's time to wake up. They're killing us. Do something before we all perish. Do something. And I'll end on that note. And everybody, have a great day, if you can. Bye.